Welcome back. Tim Thiesen Live. This segment of the program is brought to you by Citizens Against Lawsuit Abuse, your voice in Sacramento, pushing back and trying to amend some laws that are driving the cost of living up for everybody, not only here in the Valley, but throughout California and the western United States. My next guest is Roz Clark. She is with the Auto Task Force Neighborhood Watch Program. Roz, thanks for coming in.
Thank you for inviting me.
And so, anyway, I'm just going to let you roll with this, Roz, and tell us about your Neighborhood Watch and Auto Theft Program.
Okay, well, first off, Fresno Police and Neighborhood Watch Association is a 501c3 nonprofit. We are not funded by anyone. Everybody seems to think we're funded by the city or the police or someone. We're not. We exist on donations and fundraising. And we're all over the city, and we try to establish neighborhoods so that neighbors know each other, know who's supposed to be in the neighborhood and who is not supposed to be in the neighborhood. One of the things that we've worked diligently on is the Auto Theft Task Force, which is a program that is sponsored and worked through the manufacturer of the original club. They only work with law enforcement agencies or crime prevention agencies such as ours. We get our, and it's a locking device.
If you want to, go ahead and hold that up. We'll
Okay.
get that up on the camera here.
It's a locking device that we ask people to put on their steering wheel. And for a donation of $15, we'll give you one. We just want to get them back into the community. So anything to hinder someone from stealing your automobile. As you know, Fresno had quite a reputation for stolen vehicles, and we now have a task force that works specifically in going after theft of automobiles. And so we work with them to try to make sure that we can get these out into the community.
Okay.
That's our main focus. In addition to our Neighborhood Watch programs.
Okay, yeah, Fresno, I don't know, has it improved a little bit?
It's improved quite a bit.
Number one, I think.
Yeah, we were number one for a long time, and the Auto Task Force that's working now, under by someone almost like your name, Tim Thiesen with the police department.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he heads that, and they've made great strides in bringing that down. And it's just, a lot of it is instructing the residents in the city of Fresno to be more diligent in how they handle things in their automobile. One of the other things we have is people leave a lot of stuff in their automobiles. And someone comes in and they decide they want it, they just break the window and take it. So that's the other thing that we give a message out to everyone: don't leave anything in your automobile. We've had a lot of problems with it around the university because they just feel safer, and it isn't. I mean, there are people out there just looking to see what they can get in automobiles. So don't leave anything in your back seat.
Well, that or even in the front.
Or in the front, anywhere.
People leave their cell phones
Absolutely.
on the console, debit and credit cards.
Absolutely.
They'll throw it there. Purses, iPads, notepads, and these individuals will think nothing of breaking the window, grabbing what they can,
Absolutely.
and
taking off. Yeah, I'll tell you a short story. We were putting signs up at the trailhead where they go down and up on Friant. We're putting these signs up saying, please do not leave anything in your automobile. You know, there'd been some problems there. People drove up, left keys, left everything in their car while we're putting the signs up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an invitation.
Absolutely. The neighborhood watch programs. Let's backtrack here real quickly. Are there certain areas in Fresno where people need to be more cautious, or is the car theft deal pretty well scattered around?
No, it's all over. It's all over. We've known of automobiles being stolen at churches, at shopping centers, all over. Whatever. Sometimes it's an opportunity, a crime of opportunity.
Right.
And it depends upon what they want, whether they are looking for specific automobiles so that they can dismantle them and take the parts, or whether they want them for transportation. Sometimes someone will come out and they don't have any transportation, so they take a car.
So they'll just get themselves across town, right?
Exactly. And we've even had them in gated communities.
Really?
Where, yes. Matter of fact, a very known radio personality called me one time, and he says, "I need one of your clubs." He said, "My vehicle was stolen right out of my driveway, and I live in a gated community."
Wow.
So they can get in.
Okay.
They jump the fence.
Let's talk about the neighborhood watch programs
Okay.
too, because that was something that was really is that program still going good?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
We have a great program going. We have a super one in the Tower District, in the residential area. It happens to be one of our patrol areas, and we have neighborhood watch all over the city of Fresno. It doesn't matter where you live, whether you're in the southwest, the northwest, northeast, wherever. We have them in gated communities. We have them in just housing developments. We have them in apartment complexes. And we have 4 community service officers that are employed by the police department that help put together the neighborhood watch programs. Everyone else in neighborhood watch are volunteers. We have no paid staff. We're all volunteers, except the 4 community service officers that are employed by the police department. And we stay very busy. We push neighborhood watch because we think it's important for people to know who's in their neighborhood. There's a lot of people that are roaming many neighborhoods now in all forms, bike, walking, skateboard, everything. And you just have to be diligent. You have to know who should be there and be willing to report suspicious activity. Don't take the law into your hands. Leave that up to the police department. All we want you to do is to let the police know what's going on.
Being the eyes
Being
and
the
ears.
eyes and the ears.
Yeah.
That's exactly what the program is all about.
Yeah, as most people know, I'm politically involved in a lot of things. I was sitting in a debate, and it's actually regarding the red hot sheriff's race in Madera County. And so 2 great candidates, by the way. Sarah Ray, we could not endorse. They were so evenly matched. And what was discussed, though, by one of the candidates was when it comes to preventing crime, a lot of it is just knowing your neighbors.
And knowing your neighbors.
How many people do you know that they do not know the neighbor on either side of their home
Exactly.
or the 3 across the street on a first-name basis?
That's right.
Everybody just comes home, leaves, comes home, and so nobody knows anything about family members or anything else, and it does make a big difference.
Makes a big difference.
I think we need to we'll just take the opportunity to encourage people, learn to know your neighbors.
Learn
you
to
don't
know
have
your
to hang
neighbors.
out with them, but know
No.
who they are and be on a first-name basis.
Exactly, and know
right?
know the vehicles too.
And-
That's
and
the important thing.
Know who's driving what, when,
No,
and how much. And
Exactly. And then the other thing is when you're gone, when you're out of the neighborhood, make sure that other neighbors are keeping an eye. This is what we do in our neighborhood.
Sure.
And especially the neighbors across the street, watching to see if we leave the garage door open. All right, because that becomes a crime of opportunity if they see a garage door open or if they see anything.
yeah, newspapers, flyers this time
Everything.
of year. A lot of political stuff gets dropped at doorsteps,
Absolutely.
and the people that are in the business of stealing, they recognize the symptoms of somebody
Ab-
not being home.
Absolutely.
Right, same lights on all the time, et cetera, et cetera,
Yeah.
et cetera.
Yeah. Another program we have with Neighborhood Watch is called Next Door, and it's kind of a social media based simply like Facebook, except that it's neighborhood specific. It's just your neighborhood, and we ask people to get on that, and so that people can converse with each other and sell well, I saw someone down the street, he shouldn't be there. We've also had instances where they've stolen letters out of the mailbox, and we have a number of our neighborhoods that even have cameras up. And every so often I get one from one specific neighborhood where They'll see. They even had one where there was a turtle loose, so they were looking for the turtle. I mean, it is just keeping neighbors informed of what's
Sure.
going on in the neighborhood.
Absolutely, very, very important, and you hit a very important point, too, is a lot of this is crimes of opportunity.
Crimes of opportunity.
A lot of these folks will just show up in whatever happens to be available, and
Exactly.
you know, and a few years ago, back when I was doing a lot of farming on the east side, my foreman had a bunch of our tools stolen out of his service truck. And he said something that was really key. I'll never forget it. He said, "This is the first time I forgot to lock my toolboxes." And I said, Juan, says the bottom line, whoever it was, they were checking those boxes
They were checking
every
them.
night,
Exactly.
and they waited until you forgot.
That's right.
You know,
Yeah.
it wasn't that much of a coincidence that the night that he forgot to lock his toolboxes, he got ripped off.
Yeah.
Or we got ripped off. It was
Yeah.
our tools.
Yeah.
So
You just have to be diligent.
keep your doors locked. Know where your keys are. Know where everything is at, and your cell phones.
And one other important thing, if someone comes to your home and knocks on the door, you don't recognize that person, and you don't want to let them in, acknowledge that you're there. Just yell out and say, I don't want company now, I don't care who you are. Just let them, because if they're there to burglarize you, and if they think there's no one home, they're going to do what they can to do it.
You're going to be coming.
They're
on
going to try to get in. Yes.
Okay, very good. Thanks, Roz, for coming
You're
in today.
welcome.
This is great, very informative, and best to you in your program. And hopefully, you'll just thank you for carrying the torch here for what's right.
Thank you.
Really appreciate that.
Okay.
Okay, folks, we're going to be right back after these messages.